Hi, Dr. Mazuka. Can you hear me?
Yes, Akhtar, I can hear you.
Oh, good, clear. So everyone is checked in for the sound. So William is fine now.
Okay, I will have to reconnect. Apparently I need to be sent a unique link. I'll be waiting.
Okay. Okay. No problem, boss.
Thank you.
Dr. Mzukwa, do you want to test your video before we start?
Pardon?
Do you maybe want to test your video before we start?
Right, let me try.
Yeah, we can see your face. Yeah, your sound is a little bit soft, but we can see you clearly.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Okay.
See, that is why Dr. Mzukwa is the face of Sama. Is such a handsome man.
Yes. Yes.
I wish I was. I wish I was.
Put you on all the branding.
Let me just go out a bit.
Hi guys, I just need to say quickly something. I'm still not on the air, no. I'm only on this.
No, Dr. Katia, we're actually on at the moment.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Vernon, do you quickly want to do a sound check?
Can you hear me, Renier?
Yes, I can hear you. And then we need to test your video as well. Yeah, you can maybe just tilt your camera down a bit. Yeah, we can see you clearly. Thanks, Vernon.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Before I start, from SAMA side, I'm Dr. Angelique Coetzee, the National Chairperson of the South African Medical Association. And I just would like to say compliments of the season to you all. So for this webinar that's been held by UDASA, I want to say on behalf of UDASA, we want to welcome everyone to another of the South African Association webinars. These important webinars have now become a virtual part of our communication to our members and non-members and serve as a critical tool to impart necessary information in a simple and easy, accessible way, especially during this time of COVID-19. And we have successfully done this type of webinars this past few months. By that, also reaching much more of our members and non-members out there with important information. These online webinars are also fast becoming popular precisely because they are so readily available. And that is thanks to technology. We are delighted that this technology enables us to extend our reach. And I think in future, whether there is a COVID need or not, it is something that SAMA will continue doing because of their immense value and easy access, as I have said before. With that said, again, I want to welcome you again all tonight for what is going to be an interesting discussion. This evening's webinar is a virtual intern orientation, which will, among other things, detail the importance of SAMA and why we believe it is critical for you to join our association. It will also give you some guidance on important issues such as labor law and legal matters and financial planning. You will have an opportunity after the presentations to pose questions, which is a particularly important part of this webinar, as to allow you to get insight from experts and professionals in the field into those issues of concern to you personally. Tonight's session will be kicked off by Dr. Akhtar Hussain. He's the chairperson of the SAMA Employed Doctors Committee, meaning the public sector. Dr. Hussain is a respected specialist family physician. His nickname is the Legend, and he will be going through the reasons why you should join SAMA. While I don't want to preempt Dr. Hussain's talk, I do want to emphasize the point. I'm sure he's going to make that joining SAMA has many benefits, all intended to improve the lives of doctors as well as fight for their rights, specifically in the employed doctor space. Please get in touch with us. This number has been displayed on 012-481-2071 for more information. Again, remember, SAMA plays an active role in advocating the rights of doctors and unifying the profession for the health of the nation. So if you're not already a member, now is the time to consider joining the largest and oldest medical association in the country. An important, and I want you to please take note of this, an important component of your training and your internship is completing the intern logbook. I'm going to repeat, is completing the intern logbook. This is something which should be completed daily and is a vital documentation of your progress and what you are learning. Dr. Tlali, the acting chairperson of UDASA, could unfortunately not join us tonight, but Dr. Sheikh, who is the national coordinator for the junior doctors, will be taking you through this process and will explain the importance of the logbook. While we have all been cognizant of the upheaval brought by COVID-19 this year, many of us will be hoping the new year brings some change and possibly a return to a more normal way of doing things towards the second half of the year. To take us through what we can expect in 2021 workplace will be Dr. Sasi Nzama, a UDASA provincial representative. I'm also extremely happy to introduce Dr. William Oosthuizen. the head of SAMA Legal Division, who will give you more insight in labor law and legal matters. This is an important aspect which you must be aware of, and I'm sure William's insights will be invaluable to you. Dr. Zanella Bikiche from SAMA's KwaZulu-Natal Coastal Branch also joins us this evening, and she will be talking about how the various SAMA branches align and what this means for you as members. Again, this is important information as it speaks to the overall vision of SAMA. Then lastly, there are two presentations for which I am sure you will benefit greatly. The first one is by Mr. Vernon Kinnear. He's the head of the SAMA Membership Engagement Department, who will talk about our service offerings and member benefits. He will be followed by a representative of Million Sure, member of Blue Star, Twanel Botha, who will talk about the vital aspect of your futures, as in financial planning. I want to thank you all for participating in tonight's webinar. I think these are all important and timely topics for you as we headed into 2021. There is much doubt about the future, but with the right guidance and assistance, we can address some of these unknowns. And I want to stress, it's really unknown waters and territory with COVID-19, especially with the way that the virus is mutating. And the clinical pictures that we are seeing in the present and the treatment of these patients. I want to make my last point before I leave you over, give you over to Dr. Mazukwa, who will then introduce Dr. Hussein. But our evening tonight will be moderated by Dr. Mvuyisi Mazukwa. He's the vice chairperson of the SAMA, and he will also offer a word of thanks to everyone attending, and in particular to our guest speakers. I know that Dr. Mazukwa sometimes struggle with his internet, as do I. And what we will do, if Dr. Mazukwa struggles, I will take over. And if he sees I'm struggling with the internet connections, he will take over. We do it automatically. The two of us are known as the Office of the Chair, and we work closely together with each other. And I want to thank again the team tonight who take their time to come and do this very, very important visual webinar with you as interns. I know that this is the beginning of a new life and a new era for you all, and it can be quite daunting. And with that words, I am giving over to you, Dr. Mazukwa.
Oh, thank you very much, Angelique, our national chair, for those kind words and for setting the scene for tonight and for introducing our speakers. With that, I would like to call on our legend, Dr. Akhtar Hussein, to make our first presentation. Over to you, our legend.
Thank you very much, Chair, Dr. Angelique, National Chair, the Vice Chair, Dr. Mazukwa. Thank you very much giving me opportunity for a special intern orientation. This is the first time we have to do it on Zoom. I like to congratulate all our interns for 2021. And I also welcome all of you on behalf of South African Medical Association. South African Medical Association is the more than 100 years old professional organization, and SAMA is the only medical professional organization in South Africa, in the whole country. Before it was a MASA, before the independence of South Africa, 1994. We are also affiliated with the World Medical Association, that is WMA. And South African Medical Association is the voice of doctors. We represent public and private, as well Defense Health, National Health Laboratory Service, including the researcher of the South African scientist. SAMA voice for the best health policy for our nation. Advocacy toward the health for all. We as a professional organization have a bigger responsibility to look after public sector and private healthcare services and their challenges. Our goal is to protect our profession and our members, especially you young doctors joining and the beginning your career as an internship, community services, then follow it registrarship training, then you become a specialist training, sub-specialist training. Some of you will go for research training and the leadership training in the medical field. Who knows, some of you will be the Minister of Health tomorrow. Sama will be guiding you in every step and support to reach your goals. Usually from first year to third year or up to fourth year of your beginning career in medical field, you will be called at a junior doctor association, that is a JUDASA. Some people call Young Lion Group. When you become registrar, will be called as a South African Registrar Association. After that, you branch off to the academic sector, which is affiliated with the medical school, teaching profession side. Then it become a ADASA, Academic Doctor Association. And if you are a medical officer or senior medical officer or clinical medical manager, CEO, then you become the group of Senior Doctor Association of South Africa. If you're joining full-time private practice, that will be private practice group that call GPPC group, whether it's a specialist group, as you'll know more as we progress. But all these group is under umbrella of South African Medical Association. So SAMA is the mother body. SAMA has been engaged and doing strong lobby and networking with the stakeholder in the health system, nationally, provincially, like National Department of Health, including the Minister of Health, Health Professional Council of South Africa, that is HPCSA, Deans of Medical School, College of Medicine, and also we're looking and engaging for our Doctor Safety and Security Department. We are part of the steering committee of Safety and Security Department nationally and provincially. Not to forget ICSP, that is the Intern Com Service Placement. Every year from the beginning of the year, we have been engaged and we have been working hard with the placement for our intern and com service. We make sure each and every South African citizen qualified from South African Medical School must be placed as well who qualified from International Medical School. This year, 2,399 intern has been placed for internship. More than 1,700 community service doctors has been placed. SAMA has many professional activity we offer for our members. I will just take some few names and activity what we are doing, but our list is very long. It's up to you which one you are interested. Beginning with the continuing medical education, CME, we run regularly for a institution level, provincial level, national level. Recently, our CMEs have been joined by the nationwide doctors. More than 2,000 doctors have been joining, especially COVID and vaccine issues. We run short courses, medical journal, which is internationally recognized, research training, human rights and law ethics committee. We have health policy committee who look after the whole nation's health policy. Every health issue we are analyzing and we give our input, especially NHI and other related issue. We have social and ethics committee and other activity, especially educational and scientific committee where we look after the bursary, research, and modern medical technology, how to link up. We also affiliated with the Foundation for Professional Development, that is FPD. They run also with us a lot of short course, long courses for doctors. MPS is a medical protection society. We will discuss that as you become a member of SAMA. SAMA have very strong team to present employed doctors issues, and we have very experienced legal team in to look after public sector and private sector. We have expert labor relation officers, employee relation officer, lawyers and legal advisor to represent at workplace, especially the issue with the grievance, dispute, up to the conciliation, arbitration, or any other workplace challenge and issue our member face. This team of SAMA legal team, SAMA labor relation team, always you will find there to resolve all those problems. We are proud to say you, SAMA never lost any of those cases in public sector from the Department of Health or provincial health or in the institution. It is SAMA who put a strong negotiation and fight 2007 for the salary increment and pay progression and OSD. Doctors or interns were before earning the salary was 7,000 Rand per month. After a while, it gone to 11,000 Rand, but it was a SAMA in 2007 to 2009 put a very strong fight to get our salary market related international level, and it came to now next month in January all your intern will receive 40,000 to 45,000 Rand including your overtime. So that is the almost 100% increase of your salary, and that is happened because of SAMA. It was SAMA and the SAMA team's hard work for the members. It is your constitutional right to join an organization. As a medical professional, you must join a professional organization and like SAMA, who will look after your interest. No other organization can provide what SAMA can do for you. Nation need your help. SAMA is there to work with you. This is your organization. It is your home to grow with us. Just like American Medical Association, Canadian Medical Association, British Medical Association, they are also doing the lobby through the Parliament, through the Senate, through the Health Portfolio Committee. What we are doing the same, but we are doing for public sector and private sector. So, colleague, I will take any question you have at the end. Dr. Mazuka will run that session. So I wish you very successful internship for 2021 and 2022. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Akhtar Hussein, our legend, was our SAMA Employed Doctors Committee chairperson. We really thank you for that. And without any further ado, I would like to call upon Dr. Sheikh. I think you're standing on behalf of Dr. Tladi. If you could please come on to the floor. The floor is yours.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Mohammed, and thank you so much, Dr. Mazuka, Dr. Hussein, Dr. Kutsia, for giving us this platform. I think it's well needed, and a lot of our junior doctors are lots of benefit from everything that we're about to discuss. But to begin, well, firstly, hearty congratulations to all our medical students that have survived the onslaught, the medical slot of medical school. A hearty congratulations to each and every single one of you on achieving that feat. And we hope and we pray that the journey ahead in terms of internship, community service, and everything beyond transitions smoothly and has, you know, some bearing of goodness and greatness for each and every one of you. Also to our viewers, it's being live streamed on YouTube under the SAMA YouTube channel, as well as, I believe, my nerves are starting to wreck a little bit, approximately 600 viewers we have on the Zoom link. So Welcome to each and every one of you, and I hope to not make it as boring. I know, lots of talks and stuff doesn't really retain much, so I'll try and keep it brief and focus on the important things. The task that was set up for me involved looking at the internship logbook designed and set up by the HPCSA, Health Professions Council of South Africa. If you look at the slogan of the HPCSA states, or their mandate, their motto is protecting the public and guiding the profession. And that's how their mandate is carried out. In terms of internship training, they've provided a platform with ongoing review every 2 to 3 years in order to try and adjust and see where to add, where to delete, what to include and exclude in terms of providing holistic training. So in terms of 2020 and beyond, the structure of, if those who might already be aware, our current interns that will perhaps join in from in a few days from now, the current structure of the internship program has changed since 2020, as of this year onwards, and in terms of the actual structure of rotation. So as many of you know, the rotations are structured around some of the bigger blocks or the bigger rotations, and then complemented by some of the smaller rotations. So from 2020 onwards, the first year will comprise of your bigger blocks, comprising of your main rotations, internal medicine, pediatrics, obs and gynae, as well as general surgery. And in your second year, you'll have 2 months each of orthopedics, anesthesia, and psychiatry, and then a whole 6 months dedicated to primary healthcare and family medicine. Now, JUDASA as well as SAMA representatives have been at the forefront of engaging the HPCSA with regards to the training setup and the orientation of internship training. And fortunately, unfortunately, they have decided to take the stance of trying to incorporate interns into primary healthcare more readily, which is why they're ordaining 6 months of family medicine to be used as not necessarily, at the discretion of the clinical manager or at the discretion of the CEO of the hospital, but more where interns can get the most benefit out of it. Now, from the onset, I mean, just looking back at internship for me, it's a journey completely different to what you'd hear, what you'd read about, what people will tell you. And ultimately, like with everything in life, it's what you make of it. I remember speaking to a consultant once, and prior to internship in internal medicine, and he told me, look, Mohammed, internship is all about hands-on learning. Try to spend and glean as much time as possible, whilst you're on the job, whilst you appreciating going through different rotations, etc. And the one thing he told me, that every person's internship is going to be different to the next. Along the way, you will have challenges, you'll have lots and lots of issues, and these are known to surface time and time and time again, which is why it enforces the need of belonging to a professional association like the South African Medical Association, or being aligned to JUDASA, Junior Doctors Association of SA, in order to understand the circumstances that an intern may find himself or herself in, and try to get support, sometimes even pursuing the legal route. So having all that support at your base really, really comes in handy. So I'm going to scour through a few key topics that comes to mind. My colleague, Dr. Sazin Zama, will pick up from me later on.
Right, Dr.
All right.
Sorry, Dr. Sheikh, sorry for the interruption. We lost your video.
Okay.
Sorry for that. You're back.
Is that back on? Okay,
Yeah,
wonderful. Thank you. Okay, so focusing on the internship logbook. The internship logbook is encompassing of various aspects of internship. It's not just to do with training and rotations. If you browse through your internship logbook carefully, there is a soft copy that has been made available by the HPCSA. Unfortunately, due to the COVID pandemic, they haven't been able to provide institutions with physical copies. So they've made arrangements for a soft copy for interns to download and fill in the necessary rotations and perhaps transfer it at a later stage once the logbooks have been sent to the provincial coordinators. The details of that can be found on the NDOH website as well as the HPCSA. So coming back to the logbook, it's all encompassing in that it focuses on elements to do with leave, in elements to do with safe working hours, elements to do with financial planning and financial, being financially astute in how you spend, how you save, etc. So there's a little bit of everything in the internship logbook. If you've managed to browse it thus far, you'll be able to see. So I think 2 or 3 things that stand up from there is a lot of the times interns will find themselves in a range of facility that might not give them as much exposure as needed or as warranted in the logbook. For instance, if you were placed at a tertiary setting, Tygerberg Hospital in Cape Town, Barra in Joburg, Gray's Hospital in PMB or PMB complex, just depending where you're placed, you'd find that the trend of rotations involves a lot more administration, right? So you will get hands-on experience, you will get hands-on learning and teaching, but a lot of the time you'll be classified by yourself, by colleagues, as inverted commas, paper pushers, right? And then on the flip side, if you're placed at a secondary hospital in whichever province, you might end up having a greater chance of exposure to different elements, from cutting in surgery to managing a greater plethora of commonly recognized medical conditions and things like that. So everybody's internship in terms of exposure is going to be different. And as much as you want to put in, that's how much of benefit and how much of goodness you will take out from there. So in terms of internship training, unfortunately, the sad reality is that interns will always be number 1 frontline, number 2 at the lowest rung of the ladder. In terms of first onset of patient interaction, the intern will assume responsibility. But let's try and debunk a few things. At no given time in place, from a medical legal sense guided by the HPCSA, will an intern be solely held accountable. So that is the boon, that is the benefit of internship. As long as you are in contact with your senior supervisors, your registrar, your consultant, the accountability forms part of that ascension or that chain. At no given time, you'll be solely held accountable because you are in training. You are not formally qualified to practice medicine in your own capacity, completely at your own will. So that should give us some hope into not wanting to practice defensive medicine and just being on the back foot in case I do something wrong. Accountability shared and split, throughout the hierarchy. The second important component of internship that will not always reflect in the logbook is to do with relationships that you build in hospital. And I think it's absolutely fundamental to be humble and to learn from every person that you can get experience from. Sometimes you might find yourself working with nursing staff who have been practicing medicine for at least 3 decades on, and the amount of knowledge, skills, information you can learn from them would far, far exceed that from a senior consultant. So always share a respectful, polite, happy, joyous relationship with the nursing staff, with friends and colleagues, etc., and be in the spirit of wanting to help rather than dodging the bullet. Many a times you'll find with internship comes a sense of laxity. You want to get all the long weekends off, want to have a party and things like that. You'll find time for everything, hopefully. But the important thing is, where it comes to work and your work ethic, you give your best, you'll have the best experience from your internship journey. So that's important to give your all and to share a good work ethic with your colleagues as well as senior supervisors. However, that being said, a lot of the times we find that there will be issues between interns and seniors, where senior consultants and registrars will not want to either forward training or teaching, or they will not want to pitch up for work and duty, or perhaps you'll find yourself in a medical legal position where your consultant is running off between private practice and not available to assist you with a patient in hospital, right? So these are medical legal issues that can crop up every so often. And the thing is, by default, by the HPCSA guidelines, you have to work under supervision in that sense. And you can actually report that institution or that particular department or that particular individual if you feel that there is that sense of supervision lacking. And one of the things, and I'm hoping and imploring that everybody that's listening in right now, please do not walk into internship with a complete sense of fear. I think as Gen Z, probably the most woke generation, we have a way of venting our concerns, right? Within the legal channels, within the use of social media, within a Twitter hashtag, whatever it may be. And the important thing when having any argument or any difference of opinion with a senior is to try and resolve it with in-house, meaning with the consultant or with the person involved in that particular situation. If not, and there's still ongoing issues, then with the clinical manager. Beyond that, clinical manager or CEO or different management of hospital. Beyond that, you can approach the HPCSA, you can approach SAMA thereafter. And it's not always the wisest thing to just blurt everything out on social media, especially when there is either lack of evidence or there's not entire truths involved. We've seen this before where people would go on a social media rampage about particular XY consultant. HPCSA is called to do an investigation. The intern is found guilty of X, Y, and Z. Sometimes the converse is also true. Consultant is found guilty of racism, of being sexist, of showing a sense of favoritism from one intern to the next intern. And these are things you will find in your hospital, which don't always reflect in your logbook, but you will notice between you and your colleagues. So how you approach each of these individual situations is very, very important. What I always advise interns is to keep a chain of evidence of everything. If you've approached your consultant because you have a particular issue and because you feel you're not getting enough support, document it. Keep a letter of evidence that you submitted to him or written to him, or an email that you perhaps sent to him. All these come in your favor should things proceed medico-legally. So I'm not saying don't take the social media route, but try and resolve it internally within all the possible channels so that it does not reflect badly on you should you not have enough evidence to present against X, Y, and Z. And what then happens is that people will try and use the internship logbook as leverage not to sign you off. And by the time you get there, things get very, very, very difficult and becomes a much bigger issue to try and resolve. So if you have any issues, follow the chain of command. We'll go through this again with some of the other speakers of the webinar and try and resolve things internally, amicably, if not within the appropriate channels. And the use of social media in presenting all of these, try and tread a very, very important caution. With regards to human resource management at hospitals, remember the HPCSA grants a guideline with regards to your vacation leave, your sick leave, and things like that. However, you will notice that sometimes things may change from province to province and sector to sector. If you're working completely entirely in the public sector versus the military health services, if you're working in province A versus province B, some of the things might be slightly different, but the core constitution governing labor laws, that is standard across the board. So that's something to always keep at the back of your mind, is when you're being approached by HR facilities now in the next few weeks that's to come, or the next few days for that matter, read through all the paperwork, read through all the fine print carefully, especially when it comes to your commuted overtime, and look at the hours that you're working, make sure that it's within reasonable, safe limits, you're not being overworked, and address all these issues right from the onset before you begin your journey of internship. So Dr. Nzama will tackle a little bit more on this a bit later. One of the bigger challenges that we faced as interns is COVID-19. So a lot of the time, depending on your facility, usually in secondary and some of the primary facilities, now with a 6-month block of family medicine, more often than not, you will be pushed into corners where you will be practicing medicine beyond your scope of general practice. So you're expected to do X, Y, and Z as an intern. But then sometimes this extends beyond that, where specialist care is involved. But then you're faced with a decision, life or death. If I don't intervene, the patient will pass on. If I do intervene, maybe I have a chance of saving a life. So the rational approach to that is, always remember, whatever you're doing, is it in the best interest of the patient? Is it within the component of respect and a patient's autonomy? Consider these factors in. Sometimes it's a split decision, you get yourself involved, but remember, if you can back up the decisions that you make whilst practicing as an intern, you'll always have accountability shared with seniors, and you'll be able to defend yourself. So that's very important, to keep at the back of your mind. So coming back to the logbook, like I said, it describes lots of things that you will hear about and lots of things that you will see. However, it's not encompassing of every single component, and sometimes each facility might have a different challenge, and which was not covered in the logbook, which is why you need to be part of an association like SAMA. You can address it with them, and we can try and speed up and gain clarity from the HPCSA. So coming to the logbook, let me just describe quickly what the trend was previously. Previously, the HPCSA would have roadshows where every province, there's a roadshow to 2 or 3 facilities. Interns completing their internship would go to these roadshows. HPCSA representatives will scan through the entire logbook and peruse through every section that they're able to, and decide whether it's sufficient enough. The logbook itself, there are 2 particular pages in the logbook that are absolutely critically important. They have to be signed in such a way that as reflects no scratches, no changes, no additions, no subtractions, absolutely pristine form, and as legibly as possible. So that is Form 10A and Form 11A. If you open up your logbook and you're perusing it, you'd be able to see it right in the front. Those are basically the core, the core, the rotation summarized in 1 page, and there's room for the intern curator or the HOD of that particular rotation to sign off. If at any given juncture there is a mistake, or the HOD signs at the wrong place, or you inserted incorrect dates, then unfortunately just that form, you will have to get it re-signed. The HPCSA is very, very, very particular and finicky just about that 1 form. The rest of the logbook is variable and doesn't, obviously we should share the same sentiment for the rest of the logbook, but those particular pages with Form 10A, Form 11A, absolutely vital, absolutely critical. If you're unsure about anything related to human resources, or about leave management, or about anything to do with contractual obligations, always revert to the HPCSA guidelines, always revert to the basic conditions of Employment Act and things like that, which can be easily accessed online, and go through them. If you're not certain, query it with HR. So that basically covers, hopefully I'm covering a significant portion about the internship logbook per se, what it encompasses, and things that don't really encompass but involve patient interaction, that involve people interaction with colleagues, that involves specific scenarios of conflict in the workplace and things like that, and obviously enhancing the need of being part of an organization. So I think that sums up pretty much components to do the logbook. But if you're still listening and you're not bored, which I hope so, but these are important things you need to keep at the back of your mind. We as JUDASA, we try to mitigate these concerns. We are interns ourselves. This is not an additional employment structure for us. We don't get paid an extra cent for representing the interests of public, of junior doctors. We do it compassionately because we want to see change in our community. And having witnessed over the years, the difficulties and challenges, the relationship between the National Department of Health and SAMA in procuring placements, and efficiencies created all around, inefficiencies created all around. We want people to be part of that change. We want people to become a member, firstly, to protect your own interests, and become a member of JUDASA in order to assist and prevent the very same difficulties and challenges from passing on. I think what we have an advantage of as Gen Z, as perhaps millennials, as however we wish to identify ourselves in current day, is that we're able to voice our opinion without fear without having to worry about seniors using us as leverage, as guinea pigs, as or holding us, hostage in any capacity. And we do so without fear. So I think that spirit, that ambition draws us to ensure that we can tackle these issues going forward collectively. The greater the numbers, the greater the support we can get from each and every one of you. So what I'm requesting you, and this is where I will conclude and terminate my little bit of contribution today. tinyurl.com/tinyurl.com/SAMA join. You can access that link immediately after the webinar. You can join in, you can become an online, you can join online and seal your membership. And then if you want to be part of JUDASA and representing specifically junior doctors' interests from whichever part of South Africa, what we will do is we will link you up to a provincial structure that exists in that province, as well as other like-minded doctors that share the same spirit and enthusiasm. And from then we will create we will add to the current working group that we have in place, and then formulate formal structures thereafter going forward. So tinyurl.com/JUDASA join, JUDASA join. That's how you can become a JUDASA member. So to become a SAMA member, just to get the benefits of SAMA, tinyurl.com/SAMA join. It will take you straight to an online membership for SAMA. And then if you want to be specifically part of JUDASA and represent the interests of junior doctors, tinyurl.com/JUDASA join. So, well, future doctors of a few days from now, I pray and I hope and I wish that every single one of you have the best internship journey as possible. Remember, make the most of it, be wise, be thrifty in your finances, respect your colleagues, and at the same time, use it as an opportunity to determine and decipher, where your career lies beyond internship and what you want to see for yourself, how you want to grow as an individual beyond internship and ComServe. Perhaps maybe in a few days' time, it's a bit too early to have those discussions in mind, but in the long term, you need to figure out with the state of health in South Africa, where to from here with my current internship journey, and how do I try to be my best self in my current situation. So thank you so much to each and every one of you for tuning in, for joining in. Remember, JUDASA pages, you can always join us via Facebook. We have a Facebook group, JUDASA on Instagram. You can find us JUDASA on Twitter. Send us a DM. You can slide through all you want. We'll try our best to get and respond as soon as we can. We've got our Telegram groups established as well. So if you haven't subscribed, you haven't clicked on the like button, you haven't sent us a follow request, please do so. We're looking forward to having more of you with us, to making that voice louder, in order to ensure that we practice safe medicine and live our best lives, gaining the maximum of internship. Thank you all so much once again, and have a lovely, blessed evening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sheikh. That was a mouthful. We really thank you for your time and for a clear presentation that you have offered to us. Without any further ado, I would like to call upon Dr. Sazi and Zama, a very kind young man with a good heart. Yeah, Dr. Sazi, over to you.
Thank you so much, Vice Chair Dr. Mzugwa. Good evening to everybody in the House, particularly to our chairperson, Dr. Kutsia, and the chairperson of our IEDC, Dr. Hussein. Hello, William, and to everybody that's here, Dr. Begija. Good evening. I want to keep I'm just going to go straight into it. I want to keep my talk really, really simple, and I want to keep it really, really short. And my task here today is to inform all of you about, or to have a chat about what you are to expect during your internship year. What I want everybody here who is watching to do is hop onto the Q&As now and start typing your questions. And I'm going to keep my time slot very short, in the sense that I want to spend a lot of time answering your questions. So in terms of what to expect during internship, there's a lot that's been covered by Dr. shake. And I'm not going to go into it again. I need you guys to realize that, right, great. Firstly, congratulations on finishing medical school. 6 years of hard time, and you've come out of it victorious. Let's go about what you need to do when you present yourself to your new workplace on the on this time it's the 4th of Monday, the 4th of Jan 2021. Please, by all means, make sure that you have your documents. And when I say your documents, you need to have your certified copy of your ID. If your university has had your graduation now before the 2021 year, and you have your certificate and you have your proof of graduation of your degree, present a certified copy of that to your employer, as well as your tax registration, which can be achieved through the South African Revenue Services to register as a taxpayer. When you get to it, you must expect that they will give you a document that you must send to a bank, or to your bank of choice, for them to certify that you hold an account with this company or with this specific bank. That must be stamped at the bank. Unfortunately, they will not accept a document that is pre-signed, pre-stamped by the bank. It has to be one of the documents that's given to you by the facility that you're going to work in. And then you send it to the bank. You can go to any branch of your banker, perfectly fine. And if, like I anticipate, a majority of you will have migrated or opened an account with Investec Bank, your private banker will be able to scan, send it back to you within 24 hours with a stamp, which is cool. Now, at any point in the game, for now, I'd like to call it the game. At any point in the game, do not allow yourself to be bullied into thinking that because you're taking an academic day, or they call it an administrative day, that it needs to come out of your registered leave or sick leave or annual leave and so on and so forth. That's not your portion. Those documents are required by the employer, and if they're not going to give you the space or the time to fill those in, that is time that must be taken up from their side and not yours. I am being extremely practical with you, having done internship in the Free State and done conserve in the Western Cape, and now doing ending off my time as a junior doctor in the Cape of South Africa. I want you to walk into this at every point in time being very aware of what can and will happen to you and how you need to appropriately respond to it. So I'm going to jump straight away to the significance of you knowing who your SAMA branch chairperson is in that specific region or province, and knowing specifically who your chairperson is or who your shop steward is at that hospital. I say this because over the past 4 years, in my experience, I have encountered a lot of individuals who, are messaging me from a lot of provinces, different provinces, and I know how to help you, but it's inappropriate for me to, to get involved in things of Gauteng when I'm in the Western Cape, or from Free State, and I'm now referring things to KZN. But if you know who your branch chair is and who your councillor is and so on, and who your shop steward is in the hospital, you will receive help a lot easier. And this is what Dr. Oosthuizen is going to assist us, who's going to speak after me, is to inform you of your rights as an individual. I'm going to urge each and every one of you who are watching this, and there's 628 participants here who need to know what to do with their lives. you're going to encounter situations where you're going to be bullied professionally, and you're not going to know how to react to it. And you're not going to know how to appropriately behave in those situations. And if you are not connected with individuals who can tell you what and how to do or to move forward, you're going to find yourself in a situation where you're effectively being in a negative situation. Obviously, that's not the overall tone that I want to use here. Internship is supposed to be an amazing experience. It's supposed to be an experience where you're going to consolidate the knowledge that you have acquired as a medical student, and and now you're moving forward into becoming an independent practitioner. That means that at every step of the game, I would like for each and every one of you to soak yourselves in each and every discipline that you go through with the intention and the understanding that we want to make us better and more independent community service officers, because you will find a situation when you get into ComServe and you struggle based on the fact that whilst you were an intern, you weren't really exposed to certain things, or you weren't really taught how to handle certain things, and there might not be a person who's there to guide you through what's happening there. But what I can tell you about internship is that as much as you give is as much as you're going to get. I need you all to expect, hi Kirsten Harding, I see your comment there. I need you all to expect that there will be instances where you're pushed to your limit. When you get to those points where you realize that I can't anymore, do not sit there and suffer in silence. Reach out. Reach out to your colleagues. If your colleagues can't help you, reach out to your intern supervisor for that rotation. If they can't help you, or they are refusing to help you, or in some disciplines, and this is very province and hospital, district and resource, there's a plethora of reasons why I can excuse it, but it's all unacceptable when somebody says to you, suck it up, and you realize that I'm reaching my wit's end. Reach out. If not to your intern curator, then to your branch counselor from the South African Medical Association. From there, we, at any and every given point, will escalate your issue, and we will try to help you as much as we can. I want you guys to remember, you might be bullied into it 2 years down the line because you're not yet in the working environment. And Dr. Hussein has been on the forefront of this together with SAM in the recent current dates. You are entitled to relocation leave. And that leave should not come out of your annual leave. Remember, well, that's the end of that. Remember, at every point in the game, what you stand to gain is the amount of effort that you throw into it. Please don't be the intern that's going to sit there and say, well, I need to call the reg, need to call the ML. I'm not so comfortable in this. Give it a try, give it a go, and equip yourself as much as possible. Zukanye Mnyanda, you have a hand, but not a question. So if you can, write the question and I'll respond. There are a lot of issues that you will encounter through your internship experience. When it comes to professional bullying, this is where we become specifically involved. You reach out to the South African Medical Association. We will employ as we usually do, we will employ our labor relations division, and we will sort out your issue, provided that you are a member. Remember that at every stage of the game, we cannot stand here and try to protect and and provide resources for individuals whom are not members of our association, based solely on the fact that once we escalate these issues to the nth degree, the question then becomes, why are you standing up for this person? And unfortunately, we can't have an answer of, oh no, because I can. We can definitely use the issue of, but this is our member. And this is our problem. And we have to protect and defend our members at every stage of the game. The importance of you as an individual doctor joining this organization, and I don't want to be an individual who sounds like I'm punting the organization for the longest time, is remind yourself that this is an organization for doctors, that was designed by doctors, that it is run by doctors. And there is nobody who understands the issues of a doctor more than a doctor. There is nobody who can relate to the issues of a doctor more than a doctor. There's a lot. And I am more than willing, I'm going to throw because I don't have the enough time to go into every specific discipline and every specific aspect of what you need to expect. And it is also province specific, it's place specific, it's district specific. But what I can tell you is that your best friend, and William is going to expand on this next, is you need to read your HPCSA guideline, read it, it will help you, read it. The second thing I want you to do is Google it, the Basic Conditions of Employment Act with all of its amendments. And keep that in the back of your mind. If you've been able to read through 6 years of medical school, you can read this 25, 30-page document in an hour. It won't be a problem. And then also familiarize yourself with the Health Professions Act. These are the guiding and governing documents of what we do and how we do what we do. And where we find major problems in the conduct of our seniors is that they are aware that you as an individual don't know your rights. You don't know what the council states for you. You don't know what the Health Professions Act states for you individually, and you don't know what the Basic Conditions of Employment Act states for you, even though it's plastered on the walls of every single wall that you go through. Because you're so busy, you're never going to read it. Familiarize yourself with it. It will help you in the long run. And then when you find that you are unable to resolve issues amicably, that's where we come in. We're going to come in and we're going to employ our advocates. We're going to employ our, what I like to call the big guns, to sort out the issue for you. I see your questions. And right, I think I'm done there. What I'm going to do is after I'm done speaking, and we're going to move on to the next speakers, I'm going to post my email address and I'm going to post my WhatsApp line. And if you have any other questions and you have a specific issue that you want the South African Medical Association to take up for you or to try and resolve for you, send it to me, preferably via email, because I can forward emails, not necessarily WhatsApps. Send it to me via email, and we will get back to you as to how, where exactly your issues, what the problem is. And this is me now giving up my every free second to help you because I love you. Welcome to the fraternity. Welcome to being a doctor, and we're going to move forward. And we're going to be amazing people, irrespective of COVID and whatever's going on. We're going to handle, and we're going to make sure we come out of this alive and we come out of this safe. So, right. I'm seeing a very important question here from Asipemboto. Can one work without an IN number? The answer is no. You cannot do so based purely on the fact that if you do not have an IN number, you are not registered as an intern medical officer with the Health Professions Council of South Africa, and you are not registered to be functioning without supervision, in the sense that you shouldn't be touching patients without a consultant standing by you, and so on and so forth. This is also a problem that we are experiencing with the Health Professions Council, that the South African Medical Association is currently engaging with the Professions Council to see how we can gentrify their service, how we can streamline their electronic service, and so on and so forth. And we are coming up with a plan together with the Department of Health to see if this is allowed. I'm seeing another question. Please keep them coming. At our hospital, we're supposed to do 88 hours of overtime. Should these hours increase due to staff shortage, for example, is it allowed not to be compensated for extra overtime hours? The answer here by Lisa Lengao is, this is also an issue that is department, it is province specific, and it is resource constraint specific. You will find that when you sign an overtime contract, what it's called a commuted overtime contract, is there are grades and levels to the commuted overtime that you are allowed to perform. These range from 40 hours up to and to a maximum of 80 hours. Depending on the situation that you find yourself in, the place that you find yourself, there may be times where you might be forced to perform 88 hours of overtime if you're covering for a colleague or so on and so forth, but your facility can be gracious, and that is something that you must always at the back of your head have in your mind with your department head or with your intern curator to say that this month I'm doing 88 hours of overtime and the department is not going to remunerate me for anything more than 80 hours. What is the plan? Some of them may say that, listen, we understand, and we're doing a rollover of COT for the next 3 months or during your rotation, and we will balance it out then. The onus then becomes on you to monitor how much OT you're doing, and when you get your rosters to say, this is now, I'm overdoing it, and this is too much, and I'm uncomfortable with it. You have those facilities where they will do that, and you will have facilities where they will also give you a lot less time. In those instances, if you find that you're continuously doing more than 80 commuted overtime hours and you're being forced to do it and no one is giving you a break and so on and so forth, this is when you contact us through your JUDASA branch chair or your SAMA branch chair in your region, and we will then take it up with our relations officer, and we will sort it out for you, provided that you are a member. Remember, at every stage of the game, that if you're not a SAMA member and you're not being represented by any other union or professional association, you're on your own. And that's unfortunate, because it will seem as though we're trying not to help, but no, it's not that we're trying not to help you, it's that we have to stand for our members. That's a very important thing. And we have advocates who are ready and willing at any given stage of the game, be it 2 a.m., be it 4 a.m., be it 11 p.m. We're ready, we'll wake each other up, and we're going to work it out, strat it for you, and in the morning come up with a plan. And I'm going to hold that one there. I'm seeing a comment from an anonymous attorney that says, one of the interns who have not yet been placed due to my allocation being extended and moved to a future cycle, and yet I'm eligible to start working on the 1st of January. So I would like to know if there is anything that can be done in order to locate interns who are not allocated yet are eligible to begin working. Look, I will send a communication with this issue. That's a specific one. I'll send my email address after this. Detail to me specifically your issue. and we will sift and sort and see how and where best we can help you out, or what the current National Department of Health guidelines are, specifically to the ICSP program and placements are. And then we'll be able to direct you and show you and help you and guide you through what needs to be done for your specific case. Remember that all the cases are individual, and there will be reasons as to why, what's happening, and so on and so forth, that we have to then consider on an individual basis. And we will respond to you accordingly on an individual basis. I'm seeing here from Anonymous Tendai, are you aware that some eligible medical interns are still not placed? Yes, we are very aware, and we are very outraged, and we're still fighting. We're still fighting. The National Department will always have a reason as to why what's happening is happening, and there will always be an explanation. What we can do on an individual basis, like I say, is we'll find out what the issue is with each and every case that is presented to us, and we will respond to them individually, because the South African Medical Association, in terms of this field specifically of intern and community service placements, has a direct door through our chairperson and our deputy doctors, Mzukwa and Dr. Kutsia, to the HPCSA. We have that beautiful relationship where we can interact with them and find out on a one-to-one basis as to what's happening with each and every case. But that obviously means we're not going to be hitting their door every day. Hey, this case today is this case, tomorrow is that case. Obviously, we want a consolidated list of what's happening with these students, and we will expect feedback from them and also allow them to respond to us accordingly. But rest assured that we are aware that there are South African-born, South African-trained doctors who are unplaced, that there are South African-born, foreign-trained doctors who are unplaced, and then foreign-born and South African-trained doctors who are unplaced, and foreign-born, foreign-trained HPCSA and boards completed doctors seeking employment in our country that haven't been placed. We are aware, and we are actually working on it. And every single time we receive a consolidated list, we present it to the National Department of Health to say to them, now we have another 50. What's happening with them? And they let us know, and they get back to us. But as and when we receive these complaints, we deal with them. And when we do, and we win, which we more than often do, when we win, we do let the individuals know that this is what's happening with your life. From here out, I'm going to say thank you to everybody. And I'm going to give you guys my email address and my WhatsApp number. Call me, text me, WhatsApp me, email me, and where we can help, we will help at every stage of the game. Once again, congratulations on completing medical school. I know it wasn't easy, specifically this year with COVID, but you guys did it anyway. And that is a very, very commendable thing. And good luck. And to any of you coming to the Pietermaritzburg circuit, specifically pediatrics, I'll see you in the 2021 year. Good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Sazi, for that warm presentation there. I would now want to call on our Dr. William Oosthuizen, who's in the legal department. Sama has a fully fledged legal department. He'll be talking about labor law and legal matters. And after that, Dr. Zanele Pigija will be talking on branch alignment. Can we have you on the podium, William?
Sure. Thanks so much, Dr. Mzukwa. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Thanks for joining us for this webinar. I think you've had a glimpse of some of the reasons why it's so important to join a professional association such as SAMA. You get insights from some of our Dr. Sheikh and Dr. Zazi. And I mean, that is invaluable advice. A lot of you will unfortunately go through some of the challenges that they faced, but you're not going through those challenges alone. You've got SAMA to fall back on. You've got the legal eagles to fall back on. My department is there to assist you with anything that you might come across that you have questions about, or what could affect your rights or your interests. So, I mean, it's as simple as that. It's we're here for you. We're your organization. You become a part of us, and you help us advocate for the rights of doctors across the country, whether it be at this early stage in your careers. Congratulations once again, I suppose, for reaching this first milestone. I look forward to the role that you're going to play in the medical system, whether it's this first step or whether it's the further progression as you climb that ladder towards wherever you might be going in your career. SAMA is there to support you at every step. I suppose the first points that become crucial now would be to have you know what your rights are when it comes to the labor law specifically. As Dr. Nzama mentioned, there are a couple of acts that are crucial. It's the Labor Relations Act, it's the Basic Conditions of Employment Act, it's the Health Professions Act, and it's the National Health Act. Now, we've got a full legal department that have analyzed, reviewed these acts, and are on standby to clarify any issues that might arise. It's also important during these extraordinary times to emphasize some of what you might come across regards to your own personal safety with COVID. Unfortunately, that was a lot of what we've dealt with this year, is procuring proper PPE, ensuring that our doctors and our members are safe whilst they're on the front lines during this pandemic. So that's another area where SAMA comes into play, where we advocate for our members, where we support them legally if required. If I can give one example of where we really helped some of our junior doctors last year, was right at the start of the severe lockdown. And at that time, they were forcibly quarantining some of the individuals, and they wanted to forcibly quarantine 2 of our medical doctors in Modimolle. Even though they were complying with the NICD regulations, police knocked up at their door with the vans ready to go, wanting to lock up these 2 doctors and take them to a facility to forcibly quarantine them, even though they were following all the correct procedures and guidelines. SAMA was on call. They phoned one of the branches, who phoned us immediately. We were on the line with the police department in a matter of minutes, and we guided them throughout that entire ordeal. Unfortunately, they did end up going and having to spend 1 night at this facility, but we got them out directly after that. And that's the type of thing that we do. We engage in strategic litigation when it comes to those types of aspects that affect your rights and those of your colleagues in a broader sense. And then we've also got a specialist labor law department that looks at individual labor law cases. So whether it be at the hospital level, a pure grievance, whether it goes all the way to the labor court, SAMA is there for you along every step of the journey. And we've got experts we can call. We've got the chairperson, we've got everybody in the branches involved that can give their insights, that can provide evidence, that can provide assistance for us to protect your rights and your interests. So that's a bit of what we do. I'm going to keep it very brief, just give you an overview, and then really implore you to reach out to us when you now come across something you're not entirely sure of at work. I think the first thing you'll probably want some insight to is when you do sign the paperwork and these contracts. If there's anything that you're uncertain about, reach out to SAMA. Our legal department will go through the contract with you. We will advise you. We will ensure that your rights remain protected. And if at any stage during your internship you go through whatever it might be, whatever the challenge is. If there is any bullying, if there is any unfair discrimination, if you are forced to work in unsafe environments, you reach out to SAMA and we will protect you. So I suppose that's my spiel over with. I think if there are any specific questions, please reach out to SAMA. We will provide the legal assistance that you require, whether it be labor related, whether it's got to do with contracts, whether it's general medical negligence, etc. We support you throughout. We look after our members when they have HPCSA disciplinary hearings. We advocate for our members at the colleges of medicine. If you do become a registrar and you have to write those exams, we've engaged with them a couple of times before. We basically look after your needs throughout your entire career. If you, after your stint in the public sector, decide to go into the private sector, we're there for you with lease contracts for staff members you may wish to employ. We guide you through tax legislation and all the rest. So please make use of these services. I joined SAMA because I want to help make a difference. I want to help you help make South African healthcare better. So please, if there is anything you come across that you feel needs to receive our attention, we also have a whistleblowing function we provide at SAMA. So if you do come across anything in the public sector, stockouts, equipment that isn't in the state it should be, a lack of PPE, for instance, contact us and we'll ensure that your rights are taken care of so that you can focus on the patients. Most of you, probably all of you, that's why you got into medicine, is because you care deeply for other people. And we as SAMA are there to ensure that you can fulfill your goals and objectives. And I also want to ask you to become involved. Don't just have SAMA be this thing you call upon when you're in trouble. Become involved in the structures. We want you to really make this your association. Get involved at the branch levels. Reach out to JADASA, reach out to our other branches and our other special interest groups and really make a difference. This is your opportunity to have that platform, to have meetings with the highest levels of government, to have meetings with the regulators, etc., etc. So really become engaged and do your part to make the healthcare system what it is supposed to be. Thanks so much for your time. Good luck, everyone. I mean, these are really extraordinary circumstances you're facing during your first year or so. It's probably going to be tough, but we're going to be there for you every step of the way. On the mental health side of things as well, that's another problem we've seen, and this isn't really within my scope, but do reach out. It's difficult. Burnout is definitely something our members suffer from. Reach out. We have support networks, we have mentorship networks. We will put you in contact with somebody that can help you if you do take strain. So please make use of all of these facilities, benefits, and services. I look forward to speaking to you in the new year. Hopefully you don't need my services, that would be great. But if you do, I'll more than gladly, along with my colleagues, be able to help you and assist you. So enjoy it, guys, make the best of it, and do your part for the health of the nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, William, for that presentation. I think we need to move on and have our lady Zanele Pigisha, Dr. Pigisha, to take our stage and do you have branch alignment. Over to you, Dr. Pigicha.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you? Guys, yeah, welcome guys to your first year as interns. It's going to be, you know, a very interesting journey. It's going to be a long 2 years, but as the other speakers have said, you know, use it so that you understand what you would like to do, what you would like to achieve with this time of your life, and actually just to understand, you know, where you see your profession going, where you see yourself within medicine, because it's the time, you know, to actually get hands-on with the various disciplines, time that you may not have gotten anywhere else. So I've been given the task to then introduce the branch structure to you guys. So if you can just skip
we
for
can't
me,
see your
please.
face, Dr. Zang. Dr.
Okay,
Pigicha, we
good.
would love to see your face. We
It's
miss
fine.
your face.
The host has disabled it. So Renier, if you can open up my camera. Okay, I think Renier will open up the camera for me.
It's open, Dr. Pigicha.
Okay, thanks. There we go. I don't know if you can see me now. You happy?
Yay. Yay.
All right. Thanks, guys. So guys, then let me get on to what I was brought here to do. You can skip Renier. I think the beginning part was for me to actually introduce Sama, but I think some of our colleagues have actually done that. So let's get to the actual part where it says the branch. Okay, skip. Yes. So Sama currently has over 20 branches. Okay, go back, please. One slide. Yeah, Sama currently has over 20 branches that cover the 9 provinces. You'll find that in the bigger provinces, we do have more than one. So some provinces will have like 3, looking at your KZN, looking at your Gauteng. And these are currently done in a geographic distribution. Guys, now with the provinces that do have these multiple branches, what we have tried to do is to ensure that there's also a provincial coordination, because there are common areas of interest across branches. So the branches then come together in what we call a provincial structure to discuss those areas that affect, you know, the province as a whole. You then also have each one of these branches being supported at an administrative level by the branch secretaries. Now, this is going to be that person who's in the office, who's answering all your calls, who will field your calls and direct you accordingly, whether you need to go to the labor relations, whether you need to go to our membership department, whether you need to go to our marketing division, but they will make sure that you are directed accordingly. They're almost basically the face of the branch. So each one of the branches then has a branch secretary located in the offices. We also recently have established what is called the National Chairpersons Forum. This National Chairpersons Forum is made up of all the branch chairpersons, and it's to make sure that all our branches are basically aligned, because as much as we do have, you know, provincial differences and prerogatives, but you also do want to make sure that as SAMA, we are singing in one voice, and you also do want to make sure that all the branches are on the same page in terms of developments in SAMA and in terms of what we would like to be seen within the profession. Okay, we can go on to the next. Within the branch, so you will have the different positions within the branch, like your branch chairperson, which I am, your deputy, we have treasurers, we have a branch chairperson, the secretary, we also have a ceremonial president. All those positions are then available and are elected into the branch But we also then have our representation of our SIGs. These are our special interest groups of SAMA, which then also have a seat on the branch structures to ensure that we do have the interests of all those groups there on the branch. So all the special interest groups would be represented. This would include your JUDASA, your SEDASA, the ADASA, GPPC, and SPPC. Now, this is where all of these collective minds then come together along with branch councillors, and you obviously then would have your full branch complement. So all different areas are represented, and it makes it unique because you then have a platform where, as a junior, you can then speak with your registrar, your consultant at the same level. You also have private sector also being there. You also have specialists being represented. So it makes it unique in that you've got a holistic view, and you also get experience and innovation all on the same platform. We also want to highlight that with you guys' junior membership now, we have also, as Sama said, that we would like to introduce the medical community in a much broader sense. So that is one of the new amendments that is being made in SAMA to make sure that we are more inclusive of the student medical community. Okay, next slide. And then the branches are literally the engines, or let me say the workforce of SAMA. Through your branches is where you actually then get to interact with SAMA at a one-on-one level. This is the colleague that is with you in your hospital. This is the colleagues that deal directly with your own provincial issues. And they then are responsible for a few key activities, which then will make SAMA something that's actually with you. At this level, we do CPD activities. So these are, they are leveled at different grades of doctors. So even with juniors, you'll see through our partner foundation, FPD, we even provide certain fee training. We do have CPDs that do come up on different various topics and where we identify needs. So branches are then responsible for ensuring that these are ongoing throughout the calendar year and that they are accredited for CPD points as well. One of the big things that branches are also responsible to do is stakeholder engagement as relates to their own local level. So this is where you would get branches that are actually able to sit with management. They're able to sit with your provincial departments of health or your districts. They're able to sit with other organizations that share common interests, such as your Gift of the Givers, your medical aid foundations, all those that would then have, a stakeholder interest in whatever is being discussed at that point in time. And it is at this level where we then build relationships and are able to, advance our issues as SAMA. We also do give up scholarships, which go to undergraduate and postgraduate level. So we do encourage people that when we advertise these, please do make people aware. It's one of the things that we are proud of. It's one of our flagship projects. So we give to undergraduates, but we also do encourage your postgraduate activity level. We do also get involved in social investment initiatives. We had where there were the floods in KZN. We got involved in the relief for that. We did a PPE drive at the beginning of COVID. So we do, social corporate investment initiatives where we do see a need, where we can actually use our skills as medical professionals as well. It's at this level also where recruitment and marketing is done. So at this level, you will have various events that will introduce people to SAMA, whether it's a fun run, whether it's a gala dinner. And for those provinces that are lucky enough to have medical schools, we also liaise very closely with those to make sure that we're involved with their year-end functions and their orientations. So it is through the branch structures that we organize all these recruitment and marketing drives, and also try and make sure that we do visit all the hospitals where people are. We then also have conferences. It's just that COVID has changed things a lot, but you would have conferences that would be organized, to look at various academic issues of interest, and also to upskill ourselves as clinicians. And we would host them. I mean, we held, the previous one was held in Durban at the Ilangeni. We were supposed to be in Cape Town this year, but we did have to postpone due to COVID. But we have these conferences so that we can also look at latest development and also, update ourselves on knowledge and research. At this level is also where we give direct member support, because remember, head office would need you to have risen from somewhere. So it's at a branch level where your query or complaint would be raised, and we would then help you from that level. And if it needed intervention from a head office level, would facilitate that. But we do have an ER department, which is based in some of the larger provinces. Like we do have a KZN in our own offices. We also have in the Western Cape. Obviously, Gauteng is lucky enough that they also have access, but at a local level is where you would start with, where you've got your member support issues, and we will try and deal with them there. So your local branch really is where it all starts. We then also, as the branch, act as a link to head office for membership. So it's a two-way stream. So this is where you will find out, what is happening, from a head office level, because through head office, we're involved in various platforms, like your World Medical Association. We also sit on the NHI committees and give input with government. There's various platforms that we engage on, and it's through this direct link where we're able to then get to members. We also do give input into treatment guidelines, and we then engage with our members on that. So this becomes a direct link between the branch and head office, so that information is brought from head office to members, but also simultaneously that you as members are able to elevate whatever issues you have to a higher level, so that nationally, if there are things that you feel SAMA should be taking up, or if there are changes that you think should be effected, it also becomes a conduit of that. The next, please. Because we are specifically dealing with junior doctors here, and you're all going to be doing your internship, and also noting what has been in the media lately, I do want to say, we do public sector representation. This is done through our employee relations department, and I just want to highlight some of those things that they do give help with. So you'll see those services. We do give you advice for grievances. We do representations. They've told you, we do deal with your employment, your basic terms of employment issues. All of those, we are able to address them through our employee relations department. So please do not hesitate, guys, if you do have those kind of queries. For you guys, mostly it's going to be about hours, it's going to be about supervision, it's going to be about time off, it'll be about maternity leave. But if there's any other matters that do relate to service conditions, please don't hesitate. Our employee relations department is more than capable of dealing with that. So I just wanted to then highlight, guys, I think that's probably going to be the last, because I wanted to just bring into perspective how the branch then plays a part in this, so that you understand that the branch then becomes a link, but it's important that you then know your leadership. I think at the end of this presentation, you will see where to join us on our social media, where you will see all the branch chairpersons. You can directly link to us there and give ask any questions. We can put you in contact with anybody if you do need a specific thing, like if you need legal advice or something like that, we can put you directly in touch. It is there. And we look forward, guys, to working with you guys, and hopefully, guys, we all will get through this COVID together as a united force, and we'd like to see you guys as junior doctors working with us also to make sure that SAMA in itself becomes the voice of doctors and the voice of profession in South Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pigecha, for that informative presentation. I would like us to move on now to Mr. Vernon Kinia. He is from the membership department, member engagement department. Vernon, over to you. Summer service offerings and member benefits. Over to you, sir. Are you with us, Vernon?
Maybe you should just unmute himself.
Sorry, yes, I was muted and I was just struggling to get my screen shared with you. Thank you very much for the opportunity. And yes, I think the previous presenters actually spoke about all the benefits of SALMA. So this slide is actually then not applicable anymore because I think you all know about that. Just something that is maybe, I'm going to make it basically just a bit shorter and say as an intern, there's certain benefits that automatically that you need to look at. One of them definitely being the industrial relations assistance, the legal support and representation. It's a very important aspect of SALMA membership, especially for the intern market. Then we also would actually like to motivate our members or the junior doctors to please become part of an active member within our structures. This will definitely assist you through our branches, as Dr. Pigecha has actually said. Actually prepare yourself for, and it's a great opportunity for networking and actually addressing your issues. Then SALMA has, just to give you a bit of background, I need to, with the, when we look at SALMA structures are very segmented. So with other words, when we look at member benefits, we look at that specific segment of our membership. For the junior doctors, automatically what we're looking at is definitely the legal advice, the assistance with that. You do not need to get your CPD points for this year coming, but it's always handy to actually join in those. A lot of that going onto the webinar platforms now. It's always good to actually just basically broaden your horizons and get the information. So you're welcome to attend those. There's CPD live events at least once a month that SALMA hosts, getting basically issues on medical legal issues, etc., even clinical issues. Something that what we look at as well with the junior doctors is your free access to training. Now that the training is done through FPD, that's a subsidiary of SALMA. Now training, you get the credits. We actually open up other opportunities in training. It's online, or I'm actually going to share my screen later with you. But the training courses that we offer is specifically designed for medical doctors. So in your preparation going forward, after your internship and your community service years, definitely looking at training that we provide through that channel in management to prepare you for the next step. Basically, a few options there is, for instance, a Yale qualification. That's international qualification. It just prepares you for taking the next level. So then, yes, my colleagues and all the previous presenters actually spoke about it. So the medical journal, for instance, coming through to your side if you're a SALMA member, But then we also offer additional negotiated offerings to our members. Now, these offerings are negotiated with external organizations or companies that we actually look at, services or products or whatever the case may be. This is negotiated on a continuous basis. So I would like to just ask you, have a look at our website on a regular basis. This is updated at least once a month. Offerings that we offer is, for instance, discounted rates on Tempus car hire, buying a new car, the roadside assistance aspect. Then also, Legacy Lifestyle, that's one of our partners, looking at hotel accommodation if you want to take a break or you've got an opportunity to take a break a bit. But something that does stand out, for instance, is the free access to cover. It's for all SARM members. It's for traveling from home to work and from work to home, where you've got free accident cover that was negotiated. It's the value of that being up to 100,000 Rand. So all these member benefits that we actually negotiate is to basically look at you recouping the membership fee. So with other words, the minimum that automatically as an intern, you're on the bottom line of our membership fee, but this, you making use of our member benefits actually basically cancels it out for you. So this is definitely something that you need to have a look at, especially also the training opportunities. We are currently in negotiations with the banks and other insurance companies, etc., to look at additional services that we can actually offer our members on a regular basis. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vernon, for that presentation. Thank you for your time. I think we are getting towards the end of our program, but how can we do that without giving an opportunity to Mr. Botha from Sanlam? I would like him to take this opportunity as our sponsor of this event, who's been so generous to all of us, just to take this opportunity to have a few words, and we'll go to the questions and answer session, and we'll close this engagement. Over to you, Mr. Botha. Could you please unmute Mr. Botha?
Dr. Mzugwa, she is unmuted, but the sound is not coming through from her side.
Oh, ish. What do we do? Is there no way you can assist there, Renier, assisted him to?
No, Dr. Mzugwa, sorry, nothing from our side that I can do yet. She must just select the correct sound from that side, and then we should be able to hear her.
Okay, maybe whilst she's still struggling with technology on the other side, maybe let's take questions and from the attendees, so that we don't lose time. When our presenter is ready, then we'll come back. Can we do
Yes.
that, colleagues, and attend to the questions or even give an opportunity? Are you ready now?
Stop share, kom ek kyk net gou-gou.
Now we can hear you now.
Nee, dit is vir die volume van my rekenaar.
We can
Hi.
hear you, madam.
Okay, great. Thank you. Hi there.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No
We just
problem.
quickly sorted that out. I was just saying congratulations to all of you for ending this year on I'm sure it was a very difficult note, but congratulations. I know from experience, and I have many friends in your industry that you've put in a lot of hours and a lot of hard work. And may the next year just be as exciting as you think it is going to be. May it exceed your expectations. So as I was introduced, I'm Tonel Botha from Millionshore, and we are a branch of Sanlam, a Blue Star of Sanlam. And I'm just here to explain a bit about the financial advice. And I also know that you guys have been bombarded a lot by financial services companies. So I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet. And I also know what time it is. I'm sure you guys are getting tired. So let me jump right into it. There we go. Next slide. So Millionshore, we're a privately owned company founded in 1995. And our focus is to create tailor-made solutions for our clients. And our vision is we want to be leaders in the financial services industry through building long-term relationships with clients. And we also strive for our business and every one of our clients' profitability by administrating holistic and tailor-made advice. So these are our core values: wealth creation, excellence, integrity, relationships, and dedication. So now we're getting to the good stuff, the important stuff. So Millionshore, we do have a lot of clients in the medical industry, doctors, surgeons, a lot of clients. So through the years, we've created a financial plan for you guys to help assist you in your professional and your personal goals. And that would be, number one, investing or saving. Number two, your risk insurance, more specifically your income protector. And then third, your retirement savings. And I put it in this order specifically, which will be explained to you soon. So first of all, as I said, we have investing. You guys, all of a sudden next year, at the end of January, you're going to earn an income of around 60,000 Rand. And I'm sure, as coming from a student side, all of a sudden earning that amount, it's quite a bit of a shock. And for your generation, and I also fall into your generation, so I also understand that we look for something to instantly gratify us, and almost like we want to be able to touch and see what we have accomplished in life. So by that, I mean, you're going to be tempted to want to buy the best or the new car, or you're going to be tempted to live a very extravagant life because, of course, now you have access to a very big amount of money every month. But our goal is to help you manage that. Okay, so keep in mind that in the next 3 years, or in the next 4 or 5 years, you won't be interns anymore. You're going to have to venture into the brave new world, and some of you are going to work in the state employment, some of you are going to go back to studying, and some of you are going to want to open your own practice. And all of these are expensive options. All of these mean by that time, if you haven't saved up enough, you're going to have to take out loans. And at the end of the day, that would be a big part of your income going towards repaying a loan with massive amounts of interest added onto that. So that's why the first point that I want to touch is saving and investing your money, so that you can actually have the amount that you need, or as close as possible to the amount that you need,
when the time comes for you to step out of your internship and step out of the next 3 years, whatever it is, what you're going to do. That is one of the most important things that Millionsure plans around. Then also the next step is one of the most important aspects, and I'm sure that you've heard about all of these, is your risk insurance, more specifically your income protector. Why do I say this? Because as a young professional, what is your most valued asset that you have? Your most important asset in your life? That would not be property, that would not be investments, that would not be any of that. Your most important asset is actually your ability to earn an income, your ability to work. And that is why we put so much effort on your income protector. So as you may well know, they're the two most important types of income protection. That's your temporary and your permanent disability income protector and your severe illness income protector. I mean, I know that you guys are probably some of the people walking on the planet that understands most of all how quickly life can change. And specifically for doctors, your hands, your brain, your wrists, those are your most important assets because it gives you the possibility to actually earn an income. So by ensuring your body, your brain, your physical assets, you are actually taking care of yourself and protecting yourself for the future. And then let's go on. Then retirement savings. This is also a very, very important part. But as young doctors going into the field of internship, I won't say that this is the most important part for you. A lot of insurance agencies, a lot of financial advice agencies, they will come to you and they will push for a retirement annuity. So you can sign that with them because a retirement annuity is set out for a long time. So that financial advisor actually gets a lot of commission from you signing a retirement annuity. But that might not be the best option for you at this time in your life. At this time in your life, you need to be able to take care of your medium-term goal, your short-term goal. The other reason why I put an emphasis on investment rather than retirement savings is because when you invest into a retirement savings solely, it means that money you cannot access before the age of 55 by law. And as young people, you are going to have so many different parts in your life, so many different goals that you're going to need to invest in, that you are going to have access to your finances, to your funds that you are saving up. So for now, the retirement savings is not the most important. I would advise a young doctor to take out a small retirement annuity, start with something small, and invest a bigger amount into your normal investment planning. As I said before, because you're going to need those funds in the next 3 to 5 to 10 years. Why is Millionsure option for you? Why is Sanlam an option for you? So Millionsure, we have a team of young professionals. The reason why we set up the team of young professionals specifically is because we can understand what you need. We understand what your goals might be, and we can help you and assist you from that point of view. We keep it basic. A lot of companies out there, they would cross over the risk insurance and the investment planning and all of those. At Millionsure, we keep investments, and risk insurance. We keep it basic because it might not be as beneficial to you as you think when things get complicated. Every little extra thing that gets added on actually costs you money. Then also more reasons as to why Millionsure is we want to advise you on your investments and saving strategies to enable you to reach your personal goals as early as possible. instead of having to take out a massive loan and have that on your back for a few extra years that's not maybe necessary, you should be able to reach your goals as early as possible. And then we equip you with a lifelong partnership of financial expertise so you can build up your own successful medical practice. And then also, we want to focus on enabling you to earn an income to be able to pay all of the insurances that everybody's pushing you to pay for, or to be able to, as I said, reach those goals that you put out for yourself. I mean, anybody can push you to buy a new car, to take out the next insurance, to do this and that with your money. But if you don't have that income, then all of that will be null and void. So our priority at Millionsure is to help you gain that income, that you can live the life that you want to live. And for now, that would mean put away as much as you can while living a comfortable life. I mean, you've earned it, working so hard over the last few years. But take out that amount of money that you need and then put the rest away. Be wise. Don't start spending on everything because now you have the ability to. Put that money away. You're gonna thank yourself 10, 15 years from now. The services that we include, we focus on generating your income and financial stability. That's what I just mentioned. We want to help you build up your medical practice and help you with the financial planning and structuring thereof. We do business financing, holistic investment structures. That means we don't just look at one type of investment. We want to look at including several different types of investments because diversity means your money would be safer. We help with tax compliance and tax structuring, retirement planning, risk planning, estate planning, and medical aid and short-term insurance. So we've got you covered. Then just to give you an idea of some of Milionsure's accolades, our assets under management at the moment is more than 5 billion rand. We won Business of the Year in 2019 and Business of the Year finalist in 2018. We are one of the most elite businesses within the Sanlam Group, and we do have the biggest pension book within the Sanlam Group. I hope that was short and sweet enough for you guys. These are my contact details. I've had it on every slide along the way. Please give me a call if you haven't signed with the company yet and you just want some more information. Give me a call at Millionsure. One of our professional financial advisors will give you a hand. And the best of luck to all of you guys. I have personal investment in some of you. Some of you are my friends, some of you are my clients, some of you know me, some of you don't. But I do wish you the best of luck for the rest of this year and the coming few years ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Johnny Botha. I'm very sorry to introduce you as Mr. I'm sorry. I truly apologize for that.
That's fine. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah. Guys, I think we have come to a point where we can address the questions that are on the Q&A section. I would request that our panelists attend to that. Are there any questions that have not been answered there, or else from the attendees, if they could just send their questions the Q&A section there, so that we will wrap up this session of our orientation. William, Vernon, all of you guys, are there any questions that you have not answered?
Chair, can I go through some of the question answer I noted?
Okay.
Thank you, Chair.
Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. There was a question to join union. Why you must join union, and what will be SAMA doing if I not join SAMA, join trade union? As initially, in my presentation, I have gone through the detailed professional organization of South African Medical Association, which is doing exactly lobbying, engaging, and advocacy. Plus, we are providing whatever needed in public sector, labor relation, legal issues, and we are providing all those work-related dispute, even up to the roster issue in the employee relation office through. So someone don't have to join union because SAMA is doing exactly what the union is doing. But we're not going to say we are the trade union, but we are doing exactly what other union is doing. So that is the one thing. Second, HPCSA, if you have sent your original documents, HPCSA has promised they will work within 3 working days. Your intern registration number will be given. You have to do the courier or DHL, or you have to go physically and hand it over. And online, they will send you the registration within 3 working days. Logbook question, I gone through a lot of question on logbook. Yes, HPCSA is responsible to provide you a hard copy of logbook. So you'll get it from HPCSA. Graduation leave is a local arrangement from the department to department, whether you take the post call or you take 1-day leave, or your head of the department give you a free leave. That is between you and your HOD or supervisor negotiation. But there are no official special leave so far. I haven't gone through the HR. There are question of bullying. Yes, if there is a bully or there is a operation or someone is suppressing someone at workplace, SAMA has got whistleblower unit. You need to contact SAMA. You have to provide all the information, and we will look after all this bully issue as it is. We are already started dealing whistleblower, and whistleblower will be protected. They will be always anonymous. So, but we need a proof and documents. Then you can come to us and we will help you. Unplaced intern, we need the list of unplaced interns. If you can submit the list and what are the reason the National Department of Health didn't place you. We need all this information, IN number, ID number, so you can send it to Venon or SAMA membership department. We can work on that. Even we can work tomorrow morning. Question of working hours is very clear. You do 40 hours a week, 8 to 4 or 7:30 to 4 o'clock, 40 hours per week, 16-hour overtime per week, maximum on call from 4 o'clock afternoon till next day up to 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock. After that, you as an intern entering in a red zone. So you're not going to work post call till 4 o'clock. But there are issues. Some people get 9 o'clock off. Some people get 8 o'clock off. So the roster manager or the supervisor minus those hours. But if anyone working anything more than 40 hours per week, that is 120 and 16-hour overtime per week, you must contact SAMA. That committed overtime issue we will handle. Intern number, HPCSA is working, and we had a meeting with the Health Professional Council. They are going to have some blanket email to the hospitals and the Department of Health, because if everyone don't have intern membership registration first day of the 2021 January, you are right. They can tell you you cannot start working, you cannot touch patient. So the onus is National Department of Health and Health Professional Council by 30th or by 1st of January, they have to come up some official documentation. Those who are qualified, those who got a medical school degree, qualified, clear the exam, they will be starting work. Otherwise, the system will be totally collapsed. The fees, the question of SAMA fees, you're only going to pay SAMA fees around 98 or 99 rand. There is a 200 some rand. That 104 rand you're not paying to SAMA. That is for Public Service Bargaining Council fee. That will go from your salary to the PSCBC Bargaining Council, they take it from everybody. Even I have to pay for that. But actual fees, when you're signing the summer membership, there will be a debit order form. You sign, your bank number will be there. Then summer will get that 98 rand to provide you all these listed facility we have discussed. So I think don't get confused. That is the fees 104 rand for Public Service Bargaining Council. That is union work. What Bargaining Council is doing, salary negotiation, service condition, those are the money used by all the trade union, not only any one union, Nehawa, Dinosa, any union. It will be distributed from them. So you need to sign a debit order separate. Salary, no intern will get salary paid on 15th of January because you are a contract doctor. You will get after 30 days of work. That will be last day of the month, 30th of January, 28th of February, or 29th of February. 15th of January, or middle of the month, only doctors who are permanent and they are more than so many years in the public sector, they are the ones signed to get the salary 15th of the month or 25th of the month. Yes, you will sign those things when you are a permanent staff, not the CSO and intern. And someone asking if there are no mask, no PPE, what I must do? No mask, no PPE, no work. You must demand. It is your right to protect yourself and protect the patient. So you need to have those masks and PPP all the time. And logbook, as I said, it is HPCSA have to post you at your residence address or whatever PO box you're giving, they are going to send you. But you must log in HPCSA rules and regulation. And if you don't send your original document, you're not going to get registered. So we got 2-3 days. You must work hard on that. I have answered the unplaced intern. We need the list urgently. Even today, we can work on it. But colleague, there is one thing I missed. We have got Medimail, Medigram, breaking news. Every day is coming out. So if you become member tonight, you will receive all the information tonight. Thank you, my chair.
Thank you so much, the legend. I just need to know if we have any more questions that have not been attended to. William, is there any questions that need your attention?
Dr. Mazukwa, while William is looking for questions, can I just ask him also to brief the interns on the dangers of social media and posting on social media, because it's there's a lot of legal pitfalls by just posting something on social media. Please, William.
Okay, William.
Yeah, no, I think these
shortly.
are some turbulent waters that we often need to navigate. Just be aware that there are certainly consequences. So what might seem like a flippant comment or whatever the case may be could have legal consequences, be it for your working relationship at the hospital, or perhaps even a defamation suit if you were to, for instance, badmouth a colleague or a superior or whatever the case may be. So it's good to just be aware of whatever you post on social media. I think it was in that Facebook movie as well where they said it's not written in pencil, it's written in ink. So it stays there for a very, very long time and it could be used against you. So be very, very careful with what you post on social media. Your employer could see it. You could be reported to the HPCSA if it's something to do with professional conduct or perhaps giving what could be construed as unscientific advice or whatever the case may be. Just be very, very careful. whatever you post on social media. And if you do run into any problems and it's something you want to make some noise about, reach out to SAMA. We'll make the noise on your behalf. We have that whistleblower line that I told you about. You will be protected in terms of the Protected Disclosures Act if you do come forward and provide that type of information. So just be very, very careful. I see there are still a number of questions in the chat. Some of these questions we'll probably reach out to you after this meeting as well, and through the next few days, etc., to help you with whatever questions you might still have. But feel free to reach out to us. We're always available. The colleagues here want to see you succeed and make the best of your time during your internship. And again, I urge you, become part of SAMA. Don't just belong to SAMA, become a part of SAMA. Be active in your branches. Go to the golf days. Invite me to the golf days. I'll play with you. Have a great evening.
Thank
Hi,
you very
Dr.
much.
Mzukwa.
Yes, Zanele.
I just wanted to add on to what William was saying with regards to social media. We do have, I think these are the generation, Z and all of that. You get excited, you've just become a doctor. A lot of people, they will be tempted to go onto their social medias and post. One thing that you do need to be aware of, guys, is the issue of patient confidentiality. Please do take that into cognizance, guys, because you are not supposed to disclose anything that is related to patients and their treatment. They've got every right to privacy and confidentiality. So please do take note of that. I know that we get excited, we shoot in the workplace, forgetting about our background, or we discuss our cases, we're so excited, possibly leaking, identifying material, although you might not say the name of a patient. So just be careful about how you engage with your social media when it comes to your career, guys, because it can end you up in a lot of hot water. So just to bring that to your attention, you might not be doing it intentionally, but just to watch out with regards to that when it comes to social media. You might think you're being anonymous, but there's some identifying details there. You do work in small communities, although you might not realize it.
Thank you so much, Zanele, for that those comments. Colleagues, I think we've come to an end of this, and this has been the most interesting and informative evening. And I want to thank you all, particularly our speakers, for participating.
Chair, can I have last one point, please?
Yes.
There are
okay, just the last point.
There was a question of intern accommodation. The interns, every intern is entitled to have a standard one bedroom with the full facilities available in that room, with the hot water, cold water, and the kitchen area, washing and all this. But if intern having accommodation problem, please contact SAMA urgently, because within few days you will be facing that intern accommodation issue. So we need the list, which hospital not giving them intern accommodation. If they don't provide accommodation, they must hire a hotel or bed and breakfast. Then they must fix their accommodation. Other issue is safety and security. You must report us. If they feel there is no security, no safety on that hospital, we will be there. Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Sorry for giving me last.
Okay, thank you so much. No, that's what legends do. Thank you so much. As I said, I would like to thank you all, and a very special word of thanks to our sponsor this evening, Sanlam, for partnering with us. As always, you are welcome to contact Sanlam on 079 875 2029 and email twanel@millionshaw.co.za. As the National Chair, Angelique, mentioned earlier, these events are increasing in popularity. They are easily accessible by guests and speakers. And we have been extremely proactive in selecting good and relevant topics to speak about. And our speakers tonight have provided important information and insights. I'm sure many of you will be taking something valuable away from these presentations. I want to thank Summer's marketing department for putting together another successful web event, and again to our speakers for making the time to impart their knowledge to our guests. Without the contributions of all these role players, an event such as tonight would be not possible. If any of you have any follow-up questions or queries, please get in touch with us on 012-481-2071. Now that number again, 012-481-2071. And we'll be sure to get you the information you need. And for that, I would like to thank you and say good night. Good night, colleagues.